All right, guys, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, man. Today we're going to be breaking down again one of the biggest political stories this week, and that is going to be President Donald J. Trump, who just recently signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act into law. All right, and now it looked like we just got to wait for the Department of Justice to figure out what they are going to do with the files, and if the whole thing with these files being released is to see if they can prove that President Trump is a pedophile, or if he have any type of interworkings with Jeffrey Epstein when he was doing all of this shit back in 2008, right? So I want to go to this reaction video, then I'm going directly into another video that I want to react to. So I want to watch this video right here. This is on Fox Nashville, where they break down, now that President Trump has signed the bill, what's next? Because they say it goes to Senate, then this happens, then the DOJ has certain limitations. It's a lot. So I want to talk to people who are just very sensical. I just want to break the conversation down. I'm not interested in having nobody come up on the panel. Just want to do the content, get out of here. All right, let's go.
Closer than ever to being forced into the public eye, but there is still, the Epstein files are closer than ever to being forced into the public eye, but there is still a long road ahead. On Tuesday, the House passed the Epstein Files Transparency Act with a near unanimous vote, 427 to 1. And that lone no came from Representative Clay Higgins. His concern was that releasing the files could expose innocent people, witnesses, family members, and weaken traditional.
So I did have this in my notes that the vote was ridiculous. It was 427 to 1. It was no chance. And at the end of the day, everybody is going to be under scrutiny right now for having these files released. President Trump has made it very, very, very clear that anybody who is going against him and trying to make him seem like a bad person or somebody who will be associated with these crimes, they're going to be punished. I'm just wondering how this is going to play out. So let's play the video and let's keep going.
Criminal justice protections. Now, that same night, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer asked for unanimous consent to approve the Epstein Files Transparency Act immediately once it reaches the Senate. And it had no objections, so this means the Senate will pass it without any changes. And after that, the bill heads straight to President Trump. So what does this law actually do if it is signed? Well, it would require the Justice Department, FBI, and prosecutors to release all unclassified records about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. But there are still protections in place here. Anything that could identify victims, compromise ongoing investigations, or affect national security can be redacted. And
that's the part I feel like the Republicans are going to take advantage of, right? They're going to find some loophole to take advantage of, and then they're going to basically get away with everything like they did the first time. Everybody talked about the fact that President Trump is a convicted felon, and he has all of these different felonies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you ask any black man with a basic felony, can you go get a job, right? How hard is it to get a job? How that has genuinely impacted you? It's crazy. But for President Trump and a lot of white men like Hunter Biden, there is no consequences for these, for these felonies. It just sound bad, because at the end of the day, he's still the president of the United States. He controls most of the fucking country. I just don't understand. People are going super hard about this Epstein shit. And I don't know, bro. I feel like personally, nothing's going to come from this. Then what? He's still going to be in office. Then what? Whatever, man. Let's go.
without political sensitivity, reputational harm, or embarrassment, they're not valid reasons to withhold documents per the bill. And once the bill becomes law, the DOJ has 30 days to release the documents. Epstein survivors have been pushing hard for this moment. On the morning of the vote, Representatives Thomas Massie, Ro Khanna, and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I wish reparations would get this kind of support, because I do feel very, very, very bad for Epstein, victims. And as fun as it would be to just hop on the fuck Donald Trump train, right, without any type of fucking logic or et cetera, et cetera. What about the African American women that was raped in America, in this country? What about, I forgot, those women don't matter. So instead of the country going hard for reparations, right, we got black women all around the motherfucking world talking about some Jeffrey Epstein. And I bet you if I was to go to any of these women and say, hey, I'll sign the Jeffrey Epstein shit if you sign the reparation shit, they're going to say, no, but my ancestors didn't do this. And I don't know, bro. I get tired of supporting people plights and shit, that when it came to them supporting my plight, they got a fucking reason why they cannot do it. But because I got to be politically correct, I'm sorry that this happened to you ladies. I'm sorry y'all happened to find yourself around billionaire niggas. Because it's crazy. I never see, like, Jay Prince for president. He probably never run into this and had this happen to him, because he fucking poor. But it seemed, I'm not saying anything about y'all ladies at all. I just find it a very crazy coincidence that I can go around disgusting people with money, disgusting men with money, you know what I'm saying, killers, murderers, it don't matter who they are. Apparently in this situation, sex traffickers and rapers, and they always gonna have women around. I don't know what to make of that.
Appeared on Capitol Hill with survivors and their families. Many expressed gratitude, but also skepticism, worrying about redactions and whether the files will tell the whole story. Green pointed out that around 1,000 women have claimed they were victimized by Epstein.
1,000 women? So 1,000 of y'all was just dangling around Epstein? Y'all was all kidnapped? This is why I want to hear the story, because it reminded me of the situation with Diddy, right? Where everybody was saying, oh my God, these girls are all victims. None of them possibly did anything wrong. Then it turns out that they all was doing bad shit together. Bro, you can't make this shit up.
And criticized the last 5 presidential administrations for covering up these files. If fully implemented, this law could dramatically increase public transparency about Epstein's network, his connections, his travels, and how the investigations were handled. But remember, the law only covers unclassified records, so some sensitive information may remain hidden. It's also politically loaded. Epstein's case touches powerful people, and the release could reignite scrutiny. Survivors see it as a moral win, but they stress this isn't about politics. It's about justice. Massie and Khanna.
This is about politics. If this shit happened in 2008, why did y'all wait till Donald Trump get in office if this isn't about politics? I didn't hear shit about no Epstein files back in 2008 when this shit was popping off, when he got arrested for this shit. I didn't hear none. But sure, this isn't a political ploy to tear down somebody who you don't like in Donald J. Trump. It's not that at all. This is solely about justice for the victims. That has nothing, nada, to do with Donald Trump at all and his connection to Epstein. Nothing. Only justice. Got it.
Have been fighting to release the files, even using a discharge petition that allowed the House to force a vote.
I have my notes here for that. By November 12th, the discharge petition received 218 signatures from 4 Republican representatives. So, let me get my shit together. I got my notes right here, and I should have just read from the beginning. All right. Back in September, Republican Representative Thomas Macy filed a discharge petition in support of the bill. And for those who don't know, a discharge petition is basically a way to force a vote on a bill when House leadership will not bring that bill to the floor. So you need 218 signatures to force the vote on a bill. And that is called a discharge petition. They end up getting all 218 signatures, and they got a whole bunch of different Republicans that fuck with Trump also to sign this shit, including Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was one of the big ones. She taking the big, you know what I'm saying? She under scrutiny right now from her people. But the whole point is they had to force these niggas to vote on this shit. They not about to do nothing with this shit, bro. They wasting y'all time. If y'all believe this is going to lead to President Trump being kicked out of office or some shit, then you're playing yourself. But you know what? It's a hot topic, so I'm going to cover it.
Without waiting on leadership or committee approval, Representative Adelita Grijalba became the 218 signature that pushed that vote forward despite delays in her swearing in because the government was shut down. Now, could ongoing DOJ investigations slow things down? Trump has called for investigations into Epstein's relationships with several figures, including former Secretary of the Treasury Larry Summers, former President Bill Clinton, Democratic mega donor Reid Hoffman, and certain financial institutions. Last week, the House Oversight Committee released about 20,000 pages from Epstein's estate, and among them were emails showing...
That's the thing too, right? Because I keep hearing a lot of black people saying that shit. Well, it's 30,000 pages released and shit. If you did, I mean, just a shred, and I do mean a fucking shred of research, right? If you do just a shred of research, you come to find out that most of those fucking pages were already public. Yeah, I know it sounds like an echo bag because I'm using a microphone on the MacBook. I'm not using my actual fucking microphone. But it is what it is. I'll set all that shit up later. It is what it is. Like I was saying though, man. Matter of fact, I lost my. Oh, here we go. There you go. I got back on track. A lot of y'all motherfuckers, y'all not about to go read those pages, bro. Y'all gonna leave it to somebody else. Y'all don't really care if Trump name in there. Y'all not so dedicated that you're gonna say, you know what? Let me go and read all 2,000, 10,000 extra pages. No. You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna be on some bullshit. Y'all don't really want to I don't really care about this shit, bro. Y'all don't really care about this shit, bro. I just don't understand why y'all wasting time. I understand why y'all wasting time acting like y'all care about this shit, but all right, bro. My bad. Y'all care about victims and all the rest of that shit. Meanwhile, y'all still voted for this nigga. All right, bro. The same white population voted for Trump, or the same ones mad that he in office now. All right, bro.
Summers sought Epstein's advice on pursuing a woman he called his mentee. In response, Summers announced he's stepping back from public roles, including leaving the OpenAI board, resigning from a fellowship at the Center for American Progress, and ending his advisory role with Yale's Budget Lab. Harvard, where he currently teaches, is opening a formal investigation into his ties with Epstein. Now, some Democrats, Representative Green, and survivors groups worry that investigations could be used to stall or redact files, protecting political, academic, or financial figures until the furor dies down. Now, after voting, Trump wrote on Truth Social that he doesn't want Republicans to lose sight of the victories they've had, from border security to tax cuts and so on. The House vote is a big step, but it's not the finish line. The files could still be partially redacted, delayed, or limited due to ongoing investigations. We'll keep you updated as all of this continues to...
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to be updated. Let me check my audio.
Or limited due to...
Let me see what it sounds like.
Into Epstein's relationship with.
Okay, Mike. What it is, I'll set all that shit up later. Oh, it was an echo in the video. You know why? Because it's probably because this other one up here. All right, let's keep going.
Unfold, so be sure to keep up with our social channels, the National Desk.
Back to our top story tonight. The Epstein Files have been given a green light for release, but that does not mean they'll be available for all to see. Let's go to Emma Withrow from the Fact Check team. And even after the progress in both chambers of Congress, Emma, can you explain the avenue that the DOJ could potentially follow to withhold certain documents?
Yeah, so the thing is, even though the bill...
Not them trying to... Let me know if... Let me do an audio test real quick, man. Let me do audio.
Explain the avenue that the DOJ could potentially follow to...
There we go. I think I fixed it. We should be good now. Let me know if it persists. But I think it's crazy now that y'all trying to do everything y'all can. Even though the law is written, now you're trying to find loopholes. Well, there are a few things in this law that can make it not be, you know what I'm saying? We might not get nothing out of this. You feel me? Because shit, if there's an ongoing investigation, shit, we can't get shit out of this. You feel me? What, bro? I try to tell y'all, this country belongs to them. They write laws when they want to. They sign shit into play when they want to. They expose their own people like they did Epstein when they want to on their own time. Y'all not about to make them do anything that y'all don't want them, that they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want Trump out of office. The ones that really control this shit, they like him. They like what he doing. They like that shit. Why y'all think they voted this man in for a second term? He been talking about third term. They don't say nothing. They never check his belligerent behavior. As a matter of fact, they are attracted to his belligerent behavior. They like that shit. They feel like he moved like a white man that's, you know, not held back by fucking woke society and woke media, right? He can say whatever he want, do whatever he want. And it's crazy because as a black man, I see things in him that I see in other, like, never mind. You know what? Wrong topic, wrong day. Let's keep going.
Forces the DOJ's hand to release all the files, the power still lies within the DOJ. Now, I know this seems kind of like, what's the point of all of this? But it's because just a few days ago, Trump ordered the DOJ to investigate Democrats linked to Epstein. We're talking Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, and JP Morgan. So why does any of that matter?
I mean, I feel like, yeah, they all should be investigated. If you are a Republican or a Democrat who was rocking with Epstein, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if it was Bill Clinton. It shouldn't matter if it was Joe Biden. Shouldn't matter if it was somebody who you like or somebody who you don't like. At the end of the day, if you was rocking with bro, you should be exposed. They should bring your name to the forefront. You should be prosecuted. Simple and plain. I'm with that. Let's go.
Well, there's a list of provisions written into this bill, the Epstein Transparency Act. You can see them right there on your screen. That specifically allows the DOJ to withhold the files. And one of those provisions is that if the documents would, quote unquote, jeopardize an active federal investigation or ongoing prosecution, so long as the withholding is narrowly tailored and temporary, they're allowed to keep them sealed until that investigation's wrapped up.
And the thing with this story is under scrutiny has always been timing.
Yeah.
As far as those investigations into Democrats go, many have said, why now? What is the new information that is leading the DOJ to open up these investigations? What did you find?
Yeah, that's where critics are saying this is getting more politicized. So, in a July memo, the DOJ made several definitive statements. They said they found no credible evidence of a client list or no evidence of blackmail operations. And they explicitly wrote in this memo, we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties.
And what they mean by that, so let me read this again for the slow ones. This systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So when y'all go through it, good luck finding a incriminating client list. There is also no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. Again, There is no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Read between the lines. They're trying to tell y'all that whoever didn't get charged with Epstein already, they're not getting charged. You're not going to find nothing according to the Department of Justice that's going to say that, listen, this predicates an investigation against Trump because we found this client list and we found proof of fucking him and other rich niggas being blackmailed by Epstein. And the worst part about all of this is y'all not even gonna do the research to even find out if they lying. That could be a whole lot from the Department of Justice. But I got a sneaky feeling they know that most of y'all are not even gonna read through the fucking 10,000, 11,000 extra pages that was dropped. And they banking on that. The American people has grown to be lazy and entitled. But good luck with this fucking witch hunt, in my opinion. Do I want to see the ladies get justice? I thought they did already when Jeffrey Epstein went to fucking jail. His wife went to jail. He's dead. His network is done. Is that not justice? Okay.
The only new information that's come out publicly regarding Epstein recently was those 20,000 emails that came out last week that were released to House oversight by the Epstein estate. But there's really no confirmation that those emails are connected or led to the new DOJ investigation. So we're still waiting on getting some definitive information on what they're talking about when it comes to this new information that led to these new investigations.
All right, Emma, thank you so much. And for more on this fact check team topic, including links to their sources, scan the QR code.
I know they had one more story in here about the Epstein Files. Apparently Trump said some shit on Truth Social. Let me cover that too real quick. Apparently Trump said some shit on Truth Social. They got everybody like mad as hell, bro. Apparently he threatened the Democrats. Bro. At least that's what they saying. Trump threatens the Democrats. Let's go. Details on a threat aimed at Chuck Schumer did a video about it. I'm trying to find the right one. Fuck it. I just watched what Chuck Schumer had to say, bro. Let's go ahead and see what he got to say, man. Go ahead. Talk to me, bro.
Shared a post on Truth Social. Earlier today, Donald Trump shared a post on Truth Social calling for Democratic members of Congress to be hanged. He also posted a message that said,
all right, is that what he said, bro? Damn, I got to go find the post, bro. Trump. Democrats. All right. Where is the post? So nobody got pictures of the fucking post now? So there's no pictures of this post. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Yeah, I'm good. Never mind. Let's see what bro got to say.
seditious behavior, punishable by death. Let's be crystal clear. The President of the United States is calling for the execution of elected officials. This is an outright threat, and it's deadly serious.
I don't know, bro. Truth be told, I understand your concern, but when we see people on the bottom not being taken seriously every day, our lives being, basically treated like less than, it's hard for people on the bottom to take this and really care about it. Why do we care about what President Trump, said on Truth Social? when just a few days ago, people were starving in our neighborhoods because you guys were so selfish that y'all didn't want to open the government up. I just don't understand, bro. Like the whole thing about politics is they never want to address capitalism, which is basically slavery. You guys all benefit from capitalism, no matter if you're on Trump's side, Kamala's side, Biden's side. Y'all all benefit from cheap labor, and that's why y'all the ones on top making all the rules. How am I supposed to feel about Donald Trump, a rich nigga, saying that the rest of y'all rich niggas might, you know what I'm saying, be in danger if you don't do what he say? Well, guess what? That's how everybody out here feel. Nigga, you no different from a Mexican in Chicago right now. At 3 a.m, they might have to worry about ICE busting down their fucking door. But they don't get to sit on the Senate and cry about it and have PBS make clips about it to garner more money. Fuck out of here, bro.
We have already seen what happens when Donald Trump tells his followers that his political opponents are enemies of the state. Every time Donald Trump posts things like this, he makes political violence more likely. None of us should tolerate this.
You know what makes political violence likely? Being in a country that is founded under violence. Like when you have a country like America, which is crazy, they always act like, oh my God, you know, Donald Trump is calling for violence. He's calling for violence. Or this country was founded on violence. Y'all teach violence every day. Every day y'all teach young children how y'all took this country with violence. Every day y'all teach young children that our founding fathers who were rapists, who were murderers, y'all teach them that they were voyagers and good white men. Y'all teach violence at a young age. You guys institutionalize it. Now you want to put this on. Now people are only violent in America because of Donald Trump. Is it? Oh my fucking God, bro. This is why it be so hard for me to have conversations with motherfuckers. Because I can go to a million different things that happened before he was even elected. You know why these boys in America was so eager to believe that make America great again shit? Because they was already racist. They just needed a conduit, somebody to say it for them, somebody who had power. And let me define power. Money. Because Donald Trump is an old ass, barely can walk ass man. Donald Trump not about to win no fight, but he got the money to make shit shake. The influence to make shit shake. Those are the facts. I get tired of hearing people like Schumer cry about Donald Trump as if he radicalized white America. Like it wasn't already radicalized. Like we didn't have, before Donald Trump got in office, we had Colin Kaepernick risking his whole motherfucking career. And where was you at, Chuck Schumer? Did you say I never saw Chuck Schumer on the football field with Colin Kaepernick saying, oh, we need to stop killing black people. We need to make sure black women get the best medical treatment. But you on this bitch day in, day out with Trump dick in your mouth. Bro, I get tired of y'all boys, bro.
This kind of behavior. We all remember what January 6th was like. We lived through January 6th.
Is that the only bad day that happened to y'all? January 6th? Bro, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Every day was like a January 6th. And then what are you talking about? Y'all promote that violence. Them y'all sons, them y'all grandsons, them y'all people. Why y'all ain't do nothing when Charlie Kirk was spreading all that misinformation? Where was you at then, Chuck Schumer? Where was you at when people like Charlie Kirk, people who are now getting medals of freedom, right? Where was y'all at when he was saying black women don't have the brain processing power, or black pilots just should be looked into because they're probably not a real pilot? Let me guess. This young man who grew up and was raised in Illinois was already a fucking Republican before Donald Trump took office. He was radicalized and only became racist because of your political opponent. As a black man, I don't support you. I don't support this bullshit that y'all on. I support the women getting they get back. But again, Jeffrey Epstein dead. Jeffrey Epstein was found guilty. His wife was found guilty. Their empire was torn apart. I thought that was the justice for the victims then. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Lived through the assassination and attempted assassinations this year. We have members whose families have had to flee their homes. When Donald Trump uses the language of execution and treason, some of his supporters may very well.
When the Democrats made the crime bill, black people had to go through the same thing. When y'all had the 3 strikes in your route and then you seeing all these people getting released because y'all was locking niggas up for crimes that they didn't commit, we went through the same thing you talking about now. Being afraid to walk down the street because you might get beat the fuck up like George Floyd did, right? And y'all let people like, again, Charlie Kirk run his mouth about George Floyd and how that wasn't because of the knee on his neck. That was about fentanyl. Where was you at, Chuck Schumer? Oh, you was somewhere having your political war so you can gain more power. Where was you? Chuck Schumer, why didn't you say anything about that black woman getting beat up by them kids in Chicago? I watched the video. They talking about they don't got no resources in Chicago. Meanwhile, Chuck Schumer, he got ties to every motherfucking body. Oh, because you don't see black people helping black people don't fit into your political fight against fucking tearing down Donald Trump. Your only objective is to tear down Donald Trump. Shout out to Liberty Twitcher over there on Twitch. He said Schumer hasn't done anything to help Chicago. That's a fact. But not just Chicago, bro. I'm just mentioning it because the whole country talking about it. Meanwhile, they talking about the same shit. Let me keep going with this shit, bro.
Oh, listen. He is lighting a match in a country soaked with political gasoline. Every senator, every representative, every American, regardless of party, should condemn this immediately and without.
These niggas got a Jeffrey Epstein Transparency Act to pass 427-1, but they can't get reparations to pass 427-1. But they can't get resources to that. My wife said that woman in Chicago had sickle cell. She was pregnant. All kind of shit. Where's Chuck Schumer at? Where's all of these people that want our support so y'all can tear down Donald Trump? What is y'all going to offer us in exchange for our support? Nothing. We still going to have to get up and work, right? We still going to have to go and clock in for one of the rich niggas that either is against y'all or work with y'all, right? We still gonna have to make sure our family's fed, our family's safe. The fuck you gonna do for us? Let me guess. You're going to enlighten me on why your political opponents are better for my family than Donald J. Trump. Right? You're going to put more money in my pocket. You're going to lower my taxes. Right? You gonna make minimum wage higher for the country. Schumer, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? For niggas in Tennessee and certain people in the country that's getting $7.25 as a minimum wage. That's a slave wage, nigga. My bad. That's not important. What's important is exposing fucking Donald Trump, not the American people. Not making sure that we fed. All right. That's why y'all niggas keep losing.
Out qualification. Because if we don't draw a line here, there is no line left to draw. Who would have thought the President of the United States saying his opponent...
Shut your bitch ass up for a second. If there's no line, if we don't draw no line here, there's no... So the line couldn't be drawn when y'all was doing mass incarceration, locking niggas up. The line couldn't be drawn when you was doing 3 strikes and you're out. Again, disproportionately affecting black men. The line couldn't be drawn when you had fucking doctors, basically, just like we saw on the weekend, just this weekend, we saw 2 different situations of black women saying, I'm having babies. Bitch, help me. Where was Chuck Schumer at? Nowhere to be fucking found. Right? But we supposed to feel sympathetic for you. You a victim. Man, fuck on my face with this whole ass shit. We got real pressing matters in our community, like the shit we just saw this weekend. In the last 3 weeks, we saw a black woman get her ass beat by kids. We saw another black woman go into the place and say, I'm literally in labor. When is your due date? Today, bitch. Oh, well, we're going to have to escort you out with your husband. Then we saw another black woman in Indiana say, I'm about to have this baby right now. Ma'am, we can't help you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't see Chuck Schumer comment on not one of those cases. So black people, why the fuck are y'all sitting here fighting for these motherfuckers? Romika Meeks, she got her fucking top blown off in Chicago. Where was Chuck Schumer at? Where was these political figures that are asking y'all to spend time out of y'all life to do what? To fight against a billionaire that you're not going to be able to, you're not going to do shit against Donald Trump. You're living a fucking delusion and just having a conversation with your friends. But in reality, you're not doing a motherfucking thing. You're not fucking uniting. You're not organizing. You're not getting 20,000 signatures. You're not doing shit. And they're going to find a loophole in this Transparency Act. You know why? Because they wrote it, dumb niggas. You know what? Let me keep listening to the crybaby Schumer so I can go watch this shit that Jas put out and see if she has something to say about this Pearl shit, man.
Opponent should be hanged.
What?
The United States saying his opponent should be hanged.
That's what y'all do in this country. Why would somebody in the United States say somebody should be hanged? What, nigga? That's what y'all do. Y'all got sundown towns. If you was against people being hanged, let me see when they dropped that Willie Lynch. Because I think y'all niggas just banned hanging like in the last 5 years, bro. The fuck? Y'all not against that shit? Gemini, please correct me on when America made it illegal to hang someone.
Hanging was not made illegal nationwide at one time. States phased it out individually for other execution methods. The last execution by hanging in the U.S. occurred in 1996 in Delaware.
1996. I was 6 years old. This is what y'all do. Oh, my bad. Hangings was not made illegal nationwide at one time. It had to be phased out state by state. And that was the last public execution. There has been other hangings since 1996. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But see, again, you want the intellectuals to believe that it's just one white man with orange hair and he's the problem for all. Nope. You part of the problem too. You part of tomorrow, my friend Fear, she gonna have to work at the post office and she gonna make less than you made for being at this motherfucking hearing. Complaining. Y'all boys pathetic, bro. And the people that support this shit, y'all even more pathetic.
It's outrageous.
It is.
No president has ever stooped as low as Donald Trump. No.
What? No president has ever stooped as low as Donald Trump. Okay. Gemini, I forgot the president name, but wasn't there a president that had a 14-year-old mistress that was great?
The president was Thomas Jefferson, and the woman was Sally Hemings. Hemings was an enslaved person who was 14 when the relationship is thought to have begun in France.
Oh, so Thomas Jefferson, who was the president, had a side bitch that was 14 years old named Sally Hemings. But again, I don't expect you to give a fuck about black women, Chuck Schumer. I know black women give a fuck about y'all, but I don't. See, I'm wise. I watch you niggas. You don't give a fuck about Sally Hemings. It's worse that Donald Trump let ICE fuck over Mexicans than fucking one of the founders of America having a fucking 14-year-old motherfucking side bitch that he met in France. Wow. Are y'all, do you think we're fucking stupid? Do you think that every time you see black skin, you're looking at somebody who don't understand that some of you niggas own slaves? Some of you niggas were serial rapists. That don't compare to what this nigga is doing in office right now, no matter how you feel. Lord knows, if Donald Trump had a 14-year-old side bitch that he was enslaving, that was the minor, Lord have mercy. I can't imagine what you'd be saying then, Chuck Schumer. Oh, child. Let me finish. Let's watch this fucking witch hunt. Let's go to some real content. This is ridiculous.
He has made political violence a feature of his politics. And if we don't draw
political violence, I never liked that terminology. What is political violence? Was political violence when the founders came over here and they deleted all the Native Americans? Or was political violence when they had all the black men and black women enslaved? You tell me. Was Charlie Kirk political violence? You see, what is political violence? Was political violence when, at the time, Senator Joe Biden would sign the crime bill and niggas start getting fucked up all across the country? And it wasn't just niggas, it was black women too. Was that political violence? What is political violence? Of course, we know January 6th is political violence because that was incited. Anything associated with Donald Trump, right, for this conversation, for all the fucktards, political violence, just so we can just move forward. But what else falls within the realm of political violence? Or did this terminology only exist when Donald Trump is president? And after Donald Trump leaves office, the political violence is not going to exist no more. It only existed within the 8 years he was in office, right? There's no, right? When Al Gore lost to George Bush, and niggas was losing their ballots, which led to all type of fucking ridiculous bills being fucking brought up. Was that political violence?
Okay. Draw a line here, there's no line left to draw. And yet today he crossed yet another line that no democracy can afford to tolerate.
He's gonna cross another one, and 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 another one. Because that is the nature of what y'all do. Chuck Schumer is giving weak. You're the weak one amongst y'all crew. If they had men like you, y'all wouldn't be in power. Child.
Right. He must be condemned forcefully.
He won't be condemned. And let me tell you why. Even more than because he's the president. It's because he's rich. This country is a capitalistic country. You know why Epstein was Epstein? Not because he was a trafficker, because he's a fucking rich one. If he was a regular nigga in LA, they would call him a pimp. Right? But he was a sex trafficker who had billions of dollars, all kinds of shit. That's what y'all niggas do. Y'all uplift the worst parts of y'all society. That's just what it is. This nigga was photographed not just with Trump, with all type of senators and shit. It just came out recently because this nigga Diddy is trying to get less time on his case. This came out recently that Diddy was saying that he was around a whole bunch of senators and Republicans and Democrats too. And I mean, listen, I'm not for that snitching shit. I think that shit is corny. But truth be told, if that nigga Diddy drop a list, I gotta cover that. I gotta cover that. If that nigga Diddy drop a list of like fucking politicians that was at the free cost, or we gotta cover that. Real talk. They saying that Hakeem Jeffries was one of them, allegedly. And I don't know, they saying Hakeem Jeffries black, but when I saw bro, he was looking real biracial. So, I mean, take that. I don't do that race shit. If you want to count the biracial as black, you can do that. But I know it's going to be people that get pushed back on that, right? So I don't even want to touch that. But I heard that Hakeem Jeffries was, you know what I'm saying, this Epstein shit allegedly, and Diddy. They saying he was real busy around here, bro. Allegedly. Let me keep going, man. That's a wicked boy, man. That's crazy, man.
Loudly and without excuses before someone takes his words as permission to do the unthinkable. Anything less enables the flames of hatred to grow and spread.
He's not even speaking freely. He's reading off a card, bro. He ain't got his own thoughts. Old ass nigga. Man, look, bro. Look, they got Hakeem Jeffries on the thumbnail right now. They on his ass, bro. I'm gonna do a whole Hakeem Jeffries and how he tied to Epstein video, because I don't do the long live streams no more. But I'm about to get into this whole shit with Jas next and Pearl, right? Nah, let me go to this shit, bro. Let me see. So what y'all thought? My wife is the only one going crazy in the chat because I'm only streaming to this channel. I decided I'm not going live to all channels no more. If you're not subscribed to this channel, then it is what it is. The other channels are for pre-recordings only. That's the direction I'm going. And I have to be strict. Shout out to Liberty Twitcher over there for holding down on Twitch. I'll be seeing you over there, bro. Leaving comments and shit. Now, I do want to get into this whole
what have you seen, Pearl?
That, that Jas had, and she had her thoughts about, the fellas not really protecting her and shit and all the rest of that shit. And, Pearl not having no experience with black culture, which is somewhat true. And she had a black boyfriend. So she had to have some type of motherfucking. Nah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's go. Let's watch this shit.
Everything that can go wrong is going to go wrong today. But that's all right, because we're going to talk about it. And I'm just trying to figure out why. There it is. Okay, I found it. All right, I found the issue. You probably couldn't hear the issue I was having. It was doing dual lives on 2 different tabs. That's why it was freaking me out. But anyway, welcome in. Welcome to my channel. It's your girl, Jas Noelle. Welcome to the Jas Noelle Show. It is my very first reaction video. Why don't you give me a round of applause?
Good job. See you putting the sound effects to use. You feel me? Good topic. Whoever gave you the idea, Jas, to do a reaction to the Pearl, because I've seen that it's grown to be your #1 video. Whoever gave you that idea, you should probably thank that person and say, thank you for giving me that idea to drop this video about me and Pearl, because I mean, this shit's blowing up. It's on everybody's channel. This is an opportunity to grow. A lot of times, only thing you gotta do is listen. That's it. Let's see what Shorty got going on, man.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm looking forward to this. It's been a lot going on. You know why I'm here. There were some things that happened this past Sunday featuring a very big content creator, as you all know. And it seems like she can't stop talking about me ever since. A lot of you can't stop talking about me. You use me for the clicks, you use me for the bait, and that's fine. But this particular conversation, we have to unpack this. We have to unpack it, because the way it happened.
Good narration. You're doing a good job. Right? Now, I'm going to skip to the video part, right? Because I like to get to the meat and potatoes. Let's go.
Okay. So you guys see that, yeah? Let me widen it up a little bit. So I am starting it at, I have my notes. Auntie came prepared.
Okay, notes. I like that. Recently, Anton did an interview with Brian McKnight. And actually, I think it's a big deal because it's the first interview that Brian McKnight has done in a very long time, since everything has transpired publicly in his life regarding his family. And I'm interested in hearing what he has to say. So at first I was going to do a raw reaction, but I can't do that with this one. I got to actually go through it like I used to, break down the moments, et cetera, take my notes, and then do the reactions, et cetera, like that, because otherwise it's going to be pointless. It's going to be trash. So notes are good when you want to do a reaction. Timestamps, notes, good job.
Today, because what y'all not going to do is continue to drag me through these YouTube streets. No, you will not. Not on today. So
also, notes allow you to make concise points. And concise points are important for content because we want to get clips. You see, the reason why Team Portugal was very upset at Pearl was because, as he said, the things that she was doing made it impossible for them to have clippable moments. And if you don't have clippable moments with concise thoughts, then your channel is not going to grow. As of recently, I'll give you guys a good example. The young lady, Charlie, who debated Andrew Wilson, she debated him for 6 hours, but she made so many concise points, and it was so clippable that they got a 2-minute clip of Andrew Wilson crashing out because she basically, exposed Andrew Wilson's wife for having 3 baby daddies, bro. And after that, Andrew, bro, he went fucking berserk, bro. Right? He was completely either out of character or showing who he really is. But you want to have concise moments. It's very important.
We're going to start this at the time step of 39:48. Now, this is through my stream. I kind of joined this streamed a little later than when it started. So my live is going to start a little bit later than the actual live actually started. So if you want to catch the recap of everything, fully, make sure you go to Fatty's channel and check it out. So let me pull it back here. And I'm going to start it to about where Pearl joins the panel. Because that's kind of where it kind of starts, you know, and she comes in and the initial conversation is just about, matter of fact, let me back this up. The conversation itself was about relationships and women in relationships and what we tend to go for sometimes, right? So that's the basis of the conversation. Let's get into it.
Well, we talk about how women.
It was basically every conversation they have is about what type of man a woman would go for. And I don't think that every woman wants a thug. Let me go ahead and break this down myself on why I believe that perception is the way it is, right? Women don't like weak men. My wife talk about this all the time. If you watch any of her videos, she'd tell a black man in a heartbeat, you are weak. And she would say women are not attracted to that. But what does that really look like in the black community? She grew up in Chicago, for example. What does strength look like? It looks like fighting back. It looked like making sure nobody can punk you, right? It looked like making sure that you are genuinely protected. And what does that really mean? That means that making sure that you are equally equipped, you know what I'm saying, with whatever you need to protect your people when heat arrives. So if that side got some dangerous stuff, you should have some dangerous stuff. Otherwise, how can a woman genuinely feel safe with you? Right? And I believe a lot of times, the way I used to word it is this, right, Jas? No matter if I went around the big meechers of the world and even the broke drug dealers, right? They all have women around them. So I believe there is something inherently in women that attract them to men who are just not weak. But not being a strong man doesn't mean you have to be a thug. And I don't like that characterization. That's the problem I have about what Pearl did. And to me, that's what make it racist, ultimately, towards black women and black men. But let's go. I'm just doing fair use, Jas. Let's go.
So mean and so motherfucking angry. Yeah, they want to be able to talk about what they want to talk about. When I talk about what I'm talking about, I'm gonna put ass nigga. I'm gonna sit.
But hold on, Big Rig, hold on. You said you can't. The data is wrong because you ain't experienced that. But then you saying all these men is like this, so you experience these bad men. You experience all these bad men.
I know some niggas. I thought niggas go live every other week and call the baby on
home. I'm saying no, not internet. No. You said real life. You said no. Hold on. You denounced the data because you said you don't know that in real life. You don't experience it in real life. You telling me you experiencing all these bad men and bums in real life.
I ain't say no all. I said some. Don't put words in my mouth. I said some of these.
No, you said the data is false because you don't experience.
Nobody care about no statistics, man.
And then you'll say, hold on. And you said,
let me talk real quick. This is interesting. And if you go to Fatty's channel, he points this out. But this is interesting because Rick the Ruler says he doesn't care about stats. Because anybody can skew a stat, anybody can conflate a stat to fit a narrative, right? Remember that he said that. And I also want you to remember what the first thing Pearl says when she opens her mouth.
And when we talked yesterday, you said you know about these dudes is wrong because they listen to the women. You don't know.
I deal with reality. I don't give a fuck about no stats.
So you know how
is that reality?
You know
anybody can type them numbers in and put that shit in the system. Y'all, you don't know who make the stats. Who responsible for?
I don't know, bro, because stats do matter. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say stats don't matter. It's like everything that we do is measured by stats, bro. When we was in school, they looked at the people who had the top GPAs, people who had the top grades, et cetera, et cetera. When you play in any sport, they look at measurements, bro, and those measurements are stats. Points per game, rebounds per game, blocks per game, touchdowns per game. These different things, and I mean, stats is basically, when you look at money, bro, stats are embedded into every single part of our lifestyle, in our society, in our culture. That's just what it is. If you don't like it, you cannot like it. But arguing that it's irrelevant and hold absolutely no weight is just, you're either fucking stupid or you don't wish to have a genuine conversation.
So Rick, but that's the problem with what you're saying, right?
I'll tell you why I know black women would agree with me. If I say this stat right here, the statistics supports that women out earn men on every educational degree level, women will agree and say, yep, the stat is true. At the end of the day, you got to be careful with implicit biases and when you're not having genuine conversation. Stats matter. They are taken for a reason. It's a reason why we know Black women are buying more homes. They're out earning men on degrees. We don't, that's why when I say I'm not attacking Black men, that's just the facts, nigga. I don't know, bro. When people can't believe stats exist and real, it's hard for me to really rock with them and shit.
One second, because we let you land, right? If you come in and you are doing a fundraiser for your people, right? For everybody that is starving or suffers from food scarcity, and my name is Fatty, and I'm like, I never starve. My food is free. Like, my fridge is full. I order $30 of Uber Eats every day. So, because I'm not experienced it, that means that it's not real. This is just numbers that Rick is putting out there. Somebody's going to call me out. Somebody's going to say, Fatty, your reality, just because your name is Fatty and you seem like you are overeating or you have a full fridge, doesn't mean there's not thousands, millions of people that go to sleep every day with an empty belly. All we were saying is that if you're actually looking at the statistics, which is a poll of people bigger than what you can see, men have better outcomes than women when they're raising their kids by themselves. And if you came with stats and said most men are cat callers, I wouldn't have no problem with that. If you came with stats and saying most men are the ones that commit most crime.
And I just want to say really quickly, Fatty just made a claim that, and I hear this a lot, oh, children do better under their fathers. You have to consider the nuance when it comes to that. Usually, not all the time, usually when it's a single mother situation, she's probably not as supported, right? She probably is working a job.
Hey, let me give you some advice. When you pause the video and you're talking to avoid copyright strikes, put yourself as the full video, like I am right now. B, when it comes to what Fatty is talking about as far as, hold on, let me go back a little bit. Oh yeah, single dads. When it comes to the single dad shit, I don't believe that there's enough information, because when was the last time we can look at the collective of Black America and say, hey, this is how they were raised under their fathers. So when they say that stat, oh yeah, most Black children would be better off under their fathers. I'm thinking, how the fuck would you know? When did that stat, like, I mean, how would you know? Were you a part of a community where all the fathers were there? Because it probably didn't exist, bro. Like, no. I perfectly believe that we need balance. We ignore balance every day. If God wanted to be one way, he would have made it that way. I believe you need both the mother and the father. Why can't it just be that? Why do it have to be, nope, they better off with me. Mom ain't shit. Mom gonna say, the nigga ain't shit, better off with me. Both gonna ignore how the lack of the other one has impacted the child. Every time. Child.
She's a single mom. She's not able to do it all at once. Meanwhile, a father may have more of the resources to be able to rear that child correctly. Not saying that it's wrong or right, but we can't say that because it's a father that's the reason why that child is raised a little bit better. And I did a little bit of research on that, because you guys try to frame it as if fathers are just the better option for a parent when both parents are better. But when it comes to that stat alone, it's a little nuance there. There's a stability factor that you have to consider at some time too. Not saying that it's not true, but just consider the nuance.
I will never, like, men are the ones that have the risky behavior. Like, I would never say you are wrong because me and my friends, all church people, and we went to college. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would never dismiss a stat just because it doesn't apply to me and my friends. So why are you doing that?
They're good for you. You stand on what you stand on with stats. I don't fuck with stats. I deal with reality. So you got your mind made up that you're a stat man, and I got in my mind.
I actually agree with him.
I don't care about stats. I don't care about this.
I actually do agree with him, because stats can be made up of anything.
Exactly.
You heard that, right? This is important, you guys. This is important, all right? She said, I actually agree with that. That could be made up of anything. Guess what? I agree. to a certain extent. But just remember, she agreed.
Okay. So Jas is laying an underlying premise that herself said that stats can be basically skewed to look like anything. And I agree to a certain degree. But it's like if you're intelligent, stats cannot be skewed. They can't be skewed. Stats is the reason why LeBron James fans say he's better than Michael Jordan. Well, he got the most points of all time. But there's a word that they never like to use when we talk about stats. The word is context. We have to contextualize the stats. Like for the fact that Michael Jordan only played 14 years and LeBron James is on his 22nd year. So of course he's going to have more fucking points than Michael Jordan if he almost played 10 more years, niggas. Duh. Why don't he have 6 rings though? Oh. Why Michael Jordan never lost in the finals? Oh. Don't want to have those conversations because that's where nuance becomes a conversation. And we can't just talk about 30 points a game no more. But again, it takes intelligence to get to that level of conversation.
There, they can't you don't know who's funding the study. So I understand where he's coming from. But if I could chime in, my experience is that most mothers are terrible. I think I've met maybe 2 good mothers. I'd say they generally can't discipline the kids, just, from what I've seen.
What have you seen, Pearl? You only know 2 good mothers? You only know 2 good ones?
Ooh.
Is your mother included in that? Because word on the street, your mama don't fuck with you. So maybe this is projection.
Yeah, that is what they saying that, allegedly Pearl mom was disappointed in her YouTube career and they stopped supporting the bullshit that she was into. And who would support that shit? I mean, the things that she was doing in the beginning was sexist at first. Bringing Andrew Tate on, the same Andrew Tate who was arrested for sex trafficking. All right, that was her co-host for a little bit of time while he was popping. You know what I'm saying? But then she brought on other individuals, and for a while it was all about shaming women. But then after the Nick Fuentes interview, it became all about talking shit about black men and black people. Truthfully, shit is fucking tiring and boring. So I'm interested in seeing what Jas got to say. Once I reach the 2-hour mark, I am out of here.
Maybe this is projection. Maybe because you don't have a good relationship with your mom. Because not even your mom likes you. And I'll roll the clip. Just give me a second. Maybe that's why you say that. But the girl is so anti-woman. She's so male-centered that she's willing to say the most egregious.
I think that's part of the reason. So let me say this too, right, Jas? I've been around women my whole life. You know what I'm saying? I've been around a lot of my uncles and my father, et cetera, et cetera. But growing up, I had a lot of young ladies who were my friends. I was in high school, college, et cetera, et cetera. I think girls got a big problem with being jealous, especially white girls. But I don't want to put race on it. So let me just say girls and just women, period. When they are not chosen sometimes by men, when they don't get it's the same thing that the ugly dudes do, or the incels, whatever group of guys you want to talk about that fit that narrative, they just be on some jealous shit. I see a lot of them that do the same shit Pearl do. I used to, watch Pearl content, and she'd talk about how women should just shut the fuck up and have babies, and she don't have a baby. Women should shut the fuck up and just get married. She's not married. Women should not own a business. She run a business. Women should not put money and education first. She graduated, and again, she runs a business. She was always somebody who was just always on bullshit. And to be honest, I never took her seriously. The moment I see Pearl on a channel, I see white grifter who happened to make it because black men pedestalize her in a way that they would never pedestalize Jas. I think Jas got maybe 300 subscribers right now. Pearl came in and black men stood behind her like fucking the Nation of Islam was behind Malcolm X in the beginning. And it's a shame that Black women don't get that type of support. It's crazy, man.
Things with nothing to back it up, just for the validation of other males. And look at my face. And yes, you will see my face do this a lot throughout the stream. And we're also going to review her reaction to this panel as well, because she made a comment about my face. And if you know me, you've known me to be on these panels. I make faces at every piece of nonsense that I hear. I'm an expressive person. If it don't sound right to me, my face is going to be screwed up. So don't be surprised. What she just said was screwed up. Only know 2 good mothers. Mothers are horrible. Where do you get that from? Who are you around? I forgot. You're not even around your own mom because she hates you. Oh, let's keep going.
Parents generally, I think they like the clout of the kids more than the kid itself. Like, that's why you see a lot of mothers put on like what they want. Like they might want the kid to be a doctor. The kid wants to be his own person, and they say, no, be a doctor because, you know, you got to make me look cool for my friends. The mothers are the ones that post their kids on Twitter, where there are pedophiles on that app, but they say, F it, let me get some clout off this kid. That would be my experience.
Bro, dads post their kids on Twitter all the time, bro. What are you talking about? All the time. Dads post their kids on social media all the time. All the time, bro. What are you talking about? I just don't understand. And it's PDF files on all these applications, not just Twitter. That was some ignorant shit right there. You just said crazy, man. Exactly, wife. You don't get clout from children. I don't understand why people believe that. What are you talking about? Nobody get clout. You think that Black women are out here having children for clout? You think that Haley Bailey became more popular after she gave birth to Halo? You think that's the way it worked? Goofy.
But I could understand.
How was that your experience, girl? Where'd you experience that? Miss came from a rich white family, 2-parent household. Is that how your mother treated you? Is that what happened? I mean, because this is a safe space, Pearly girl. Like, and it's cracking me up because she's just saying things. She's just saying things, you guys, and y'all eating it up. Y'all eating it up like, yep, she right. How is she right? Where are the facts on that? Pulling fallacies, pulling things.
If you expect Team Turkey and Team Portugal to come up with facts and stat, then you've been fooled, and you fooled your damn self. That's not what they do. What they do is agree with anybody who will say that women are the problem. That is going to be the foundation of almost every argument that they make. Let's go.
Out of thin air and stating them as facts makes absolutely no sense.
You had a different one, sir. So I understand we all have our own, but I have not met very many good mothers. If we go into single mothers,
you don't have a good mother, Pearl. Oh, I don't feel bad. No.
I would say it's even less. So that would be my experience. The data does back up mine a little bit more than yours, but I do understand being critical of data because I've been in this industry 5 years and people can manipulate stats to say anything. So I do understand it.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with that part. That's all I'm saying.
Nigga call her yes, ma'am, after she just clearly took shots at you. The data backs up my point a little bit more than it backs up yours, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I definitely understand, my brother, that you have to be critical of data. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. Yes, ma'am. If there's anything I can do to straighten up these Black women on these panels, ma'am, you probably let me know, and I will oblige you happily. Lord have mercy, boy. I can't even imagine what y'all would be about. You know what I'm saying? How y'all would act if y'all saw a bad white girl. Y'all really went crazy when Pearl started agreeing with y'all boys, bro. I ain't never seen nothing like this. Like I'm saying, I'm done that 2-hour mark. I only got a certain amount of I only watch this type of shit for so long. I just can't no more.
That's all I'm saying. I mean,
So your mom was really good, I'm guessing. You had like a really good mother and all the.
Do you see that? Do you see that? Do you see that right there? Why the fuck would you even need to ask that man that? Did you have a good mother? Was your mom good? Y'all say I started it. She came in guns blazing. Why are you even asking that man that? What provoked that question? Why wouldn't he have a good mother, bitch? Is it because you never had a good mother or a mother that wasn't good to you?
Not Jas coming out with the bitch. Child. I like when people, especially content creators, talk about the things that they are passionate about. And it's clear she's passionate about Black women, and I respect that. And because of that, I'm a ride with her. My wife is the only person in the chat. She's the only person that support me. She says parenthood is one of those things you cannot truly understand unless you've been responsible for another person yourself, which Pearl has not. It is really about white skin because it ain't her looks at all. You think, yeah, she's ugly. I definitely think it's about the fact that she a white girl. I'll give you on this one, race is the most important key when it comes to her because she's not attractive. Someone without kids simply cannot fully understand motherhood, let alone judge it. Child.
You want to make everybody else miserable with you? That was an unnecessary, uncalled for question, and there's an underlining reason why she asked that man that question. And it wasn't just because she was fucking curious. All right? Welcome to Race Baiting 101. Don't piss me off today.
Mom's like around you really good.
yeah, my mama done a great job. She done an awesome job.
Period.
Great job. She raised 2 boys by herself. Done a great job.
But this,
Look, Pearl can't relate. Aw.
but that's the point is most people don't like at this point either is very close to 50% of relationship that the people don't stay together, or they stay together and those 50% are relationships that are lack of sex, people are not happy, people need to pay the mortgage so they don't want to be homeless and sleep on their car so they stay together. Like, wouldn't that actually be a reflection of what we were talking today? Even Michelle Obama said, I was miserable for 10 years. Should she leave? Like, because she said it, I was miserable. Those are the words.
All right, so let's talk about this real quick. Because a lot of times, I don't know why y'all do this a lot, but you compare celebrities and public figures to the everyday couple, right?
Let me tell you why, Jas, before you even get down, baby. So they do that because their lives don't represent anything that's exciting. They talked about Ali life. We talking about a baby daddy from Turkey. We talked about Team Portugal life. We talking about somebody who was sterilized and can't have children. So these guys' lives, you're talking about Anton, you're talking about a fucking hobbit that nobody, you know what I'm saying, really looks up to. At the end of the day, these people look up to the Tom Brady's of the world, the Michael B. Jordans of the world. They see themselves, the best versions of what they could have been in a different life through those men. Whereas me, like I told my wife, like one of the easiest things that I have ever done in life is get vagina. Like the same way I can pick up this vape, drop it and pick it up again, hit it again. That's how easy it is to get multiple. It's not hard. And y'all don't make it hard. As a matter of fact, we're living through a sexual revolution where it's easier than ever.
Daddy is talking about like, oh, women are never happy because even Michelle Obama said that she was miserable for 10 years. Y'all only heard that part and didn't understand that she was being transparent about the ups and downs of marriage.
And the ups and downs of being the first lady for 8 years in a row. That's what y'all, she was the first lady for 8 years in a row, which means what? She had obligations to society. Y'all act like she said, I was unhappy with this nigga Obama specifically for 10 years straight. No, she said, I was unhappy. She said those words exactly. I was unhappy for 10 years straight. Y'all made it seem like she was just unhappy with her husband and her husband only. Should be goddamn ashamed of yourselves. But let me say something. I got a replacement iPhone for this 014, and this powder blue is so pretty. I just love it. And I was taking photos on it today, and I really like. Never mind. I can't do a tech review today, y'all. I'm sorry. Never mind. Let me get some other stuff done. Okay. Let's continue.
Which is something that you all tend to advocate for. You always say women too quick to leave. You're supposed to endure. That lady endured for 10 years. Mind you, they've been married, what, 30 plus years now? 10 years while he was like trying to settle in his career. The children were really young. All you got to do is research the context of it. But some of you are so male-centered and just think a woman can't be real about the realities of a marriage and being with a partner, that her saying that makes you want Obama to divorce her because you find that to be disrespect. What she ultimately said was, I was miserable, I wasn't happy for this long, but we got through it. She gave you a clear depiction of what to do when things get hard in a marriage with somebody that you love at the end of the day. You don't give up. But y'all didn't take it that way. Y'all took it as, oh, we can't never make a woman happy. And not the fact that she put her happiness to the side for 10 years because she had a bigger picture in mind. Why don't you give her props for that? You
asking them why they don't give Michelle Obama props tells me, but baby, you still got a lot of learn. You have a lot of learning to do about these men in these spaces. They're never going to give Michelle Obama any credit at all. They don't care about Michelle Obama. She's a married woman, and the only reason why they don't like Michelle Obama is because they believe her husband is a simp, and because she's a black woman. If Barack was married to a white woman, most of these niggas would vote for him today. Let's go.
Y'all so anti-women, y'all don't hear what women say, and it bothers me so much. But let's.
Why would they listen to the same people that they believe shouldn't vote, don't have a right to speak, should be dominated, should just listen to whatever the fuck they man say? What's the point of listening to somebody if I'm not going to take their points and their opinions and their concerns? You know, listen, baby, you really are thinking that these men care, and I don't know if it's naivety or naivety. I don't know if it's naivety or if you are actually thinking that these guys are good guys. I don't know. I think Jas is just a sweet girl who believes guys are good guys. And I think that maybe one day she's going to get a rude awakening.
Continue. I pray that stops, because you're missing understanding when you do that. You're missing the reason why. When you totally dismiss what she's saying, when all you're doing is hearing with your feelings. Y'all love to say that's what women do. We're all in our feelings. We're this and we're that. But you're in your feelings, and you can't even like grasp the concept of why she said what she said, and how it is a beautiful thing that she said that, because it's relatable. It gives encouragement for couples to stay together, which is something y'all say we should do. But as soon as a woman is real, it's like, no, divorce her. Come on now. Pick a side. You either for marriage or you against it.
Yeah, Michelle Obama left.
They for marriage if it looks like it's benefiting the man, if it perpetuates the type of idea that this man is on a throne and the woman is beneath him, then yeah, they love that type of marriage. They don't like, for example, what's going on with Akash Singh and his wife. They don't like me and my wife. They think that my wife is unruly. So at the end of the day, they want relationships that they believe mirror their misogynistic perspectives. That's the facts.
Barack Obama, as soon as she is unhappy and she doesn't see it, like, what do you guys think?
I would love to see an uptick in men divorcing their wives when they do this bullshit. I'd say, Obama, please divorce your wife. It's time.
This is what I don't understand about this girl. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you get it together while you do that. Yeah, a little bit. No, it's okay.
Look at Jas over there with her man, girl.
But it's interesting with what she said, because there's video of her very staunchly advocating for eradicating divorce. You know what I mean? Like, eradicating divorce. Women should not be allowed to divorce their husbands. We should all be locked into our marriages. And here she is advocating to end a marriage because a woman was real about her marriage.
That's when she was fucking, what's the word? Grifting. That's when she was grifting. She don't really care about marriages. If you think she care about marriages, you crazy. She don't really care about marriages. She was just telling those men, oh, most women are the ones who fucking how they say it. Most women are the ones who file for divorce. They leave their families because they're unhappy. They don't really care about the families at all. That's what they say. She don't really care about keeping families together. I was genuinely upset that she even spoke about Michelle Obama at all. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Always trying to attack somebody who was a first lady. I've never seen a first lady so disrespected, so treated like a fucking commoner.
Which one is it, Pearl? Are you for marriage or are you against it? Oh, wait, you're only for it as it pertains to the likes of men. You do all this pick me type of stuff, and the guys don't want you, babe. They enjoy listening to you because you're a little well, not a little, but you're anti-women, and the spaces you're in are also anti-women. But at the end of the day, no one's going to choose you for marriage.
Damn.
I guarantee it. But let's continue.
Do y'all believe what Jas is saying is right? Do y'all believe that no men would choose Pearl for marriage ever? They don't want Pearl? Do you believe that Pearl can go outside right now and get a black man to be her husband right now, or a white man her husband right now? Now, I would never date somebody that looked like Pearl. Ever. Ever. But that don't mean somebody wouldn't. I don't know, man. Let's keep going.
She's got to stop disrespecting you like this. He'll never do it, but you know.
I actually don't agree with you.
If a woman give you come to you, right, and she feels some type of way, and she's no longer happy with the standard of treatment that you give her in that marriage, that she is being disrespectful, you should just tap out and leave her.
I think when it gets to the point where she's comfortable doing it publicly in front of everybody, when she really doesn't have to. Like, I mean, this is Michelle Obama. Every bill is taken care of for her, every need. What more do you want? You were married to the president of the United States. You lived in the White House. So I think when it gets to that level, I think, you know, that's kind of torture for a man. I think more men deserve some peace. So, you know, that'd be my opinion.
But y'all said it. Hold on, before
what peace are you bringing to what man, Pearl? And for y'all black men think that she not throwing that coochie to somebody, y'all out y'all mind, bro. Women that are male adjacent are the biggest 304s. They are the ones that give it up the most. The most. You don't even got to be a panty dropper. They just throwing that motherfucker back because they submit to any man because they believe all men are worthy of submission.
She said it, y'all need to support her, because early on in the show, you said if this man ain't feeling happy, if his wife isn't cooperating, she's not doing right by him, y'all told her to leave. But I'm telling you, when y'all get comfortable, you'll take the woman's side instead of acknowledging what the man is saying. It's very hard to trust a brother who will have all these women say one thing, and we know that we see what's happening out in society. When you say your experience and brothers say their experience, most of these women ain't doing right by their men, but we listen more to the women that we know that's happening than the actual brothers who are saying it, solid or not solid. The brothers who ain't solid ain't got no right to complain, right? But the brothers who are solid, they got the right to complain. And when you see these men's wives coming up in public and doing these things, Big Rick, you got to know something wrong. Michael B. Jordan wife did him a certain way. Tom Brady wife did him a certain way. Johnny Depp wife did him a certain way. These are supposed to.
Michael B, again, Ali, he be talking so fast that he don't realize he say stupid shit. Michael B. Jordan, guys, for the record, has never been married. Michael B. Jordan was not married. Lori Harvey is not married. Okay? And Lori Harvey did not do Michael B. Jordan wrong. To this day, I don't even know what the fuck happened with them two. I just know they stopped dating. I've never heard Michael B. Jordan say, man, she broke my heart, bro. She is slower. I never heard him say that, bro. My wife said, look at how they doing Klay Thompson. Man, they on my dog Klay Thompson head, bro. They saying that Meg Thee Stallion is the reason why he not starting no more, why his stats is low. All right, man.
Michael B. Jordan had a wife?
He's also
Tell me
no
what you said.
relationships too, Jazz. Being honest, okay?
What she say? What did Michelle Obama say that was disrespectful to her husband?
She wasn't happy. She wasn't happy with that man for 10. She wasn't happy with him for 10 years.
That's her truth, though. You want her to lie?
You know what I'm saying? How you just did? So if I came out and said my woman didn't make me happy for 10 years, that's not disrespectful.
I don't understand why.
Ali, you came out and told us that your woman broke a pact by having your baby. The fuck you talking about? What you mean, nigga? Of course. I mean, if you think that's disrespectful, then certainly what you did was super disrespectful. I mean, because you literally told everybody that your baby mama betrayed you by giving birth to your child. But all right, you got it. Michelle Obama is the worst of the worst.
Why is that such a big deal? When you all why is that such a big deal for her to say out loud? When you all say out loud, marriage is not about happiness. I hear you guys say that all the time. All the time. Y'all always say men sacrifice. Oh, so because she's a public figure and is speaking to other women that may have gone through or is going through or trying to navigate their marriages, because she said it out loud, that's disrespectful. How? It is what it is. Obviously, Barack didn't find it disrespectful because there's an understanding there. Marriage is not always about being happy, right? So if we can say that.
Let me read some of these comments. What man is being... All right, let me keep going. Good and decent man can't exist. Klay Thompson is literally showing expressing love for Meg Thee Stallion, and black men are not letting him exist. Yeah, they on his ass. Black men not supporting him right now, which is crazy. I love Meg Thee Stallion. I love Klay Thompson. I hope they have a fucking baby and get married. My wife says, why are you guys not allowing Klay Thompson or Russell Wilson to be good men, basically? Okay. And then we have males saying, males? See, yeah, my wife be using that motherfucking that voice chat shit. 2 males saying 2 women. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
Part out loud. Why can't the person in the marriage say that out loud in public? If that's the overall consensus, what's the problem? The problem is a woman said it. That's the only reason y'all be pissed. Anytime, that's the reason why y'all mad at Aisha. That's the reason why y'all mad at Michelle, because it is a woman speaking out, and because of the men that they're with, y'all feel like they shouldn't say nothing. It should just be, I'm happy all the time because I'm married to a rich man. That's not reality. So let's keep going. I'm gonna fast forward it in a second. Like I said, y'all bear with me. I know I have some shit going on in the background. It is what it is. We're gonna continue. We're just gonna get better. Thank you for being here. Let's go. Hit the like.
Rick, you have to agree with
And
Ali.
that's why
Man,
this is-
hey, Rick, no, one second, Ali. Hey, Rick, have you ever been sad with your woman, feel disrespectful with your woman, feel disrespected?
Yeah, I felt disrespect plenty of time, but I let her know, though. I let her know.
But did you come to the internet and you said, oh, my...
I don't just sit in. I'm not one of them men just go sit there and not speak on how you making me feel. So a lot of men, they'll go tell everybody else that they got a problem with their wife. They'll go tell the little, yes.
And what about you?
Go ahead all you want. Yes.
But what about you? Do you do it?
I'm going to fast forward just a little bit, y'all.
Okay, if it's the case, then we need to stop telling women you just leaving that man because you want to have. They should just get the fuck out of there too. The minute that she feel disrespectful, the minute you feel like your money done decrease, you don't make the same amount of money. Your stomach done got a little fat, and your back big.
I want to stop you here because we're going to play some videos now, right? We're going to play some videos of how Pearl actually sees marriage.
Okay. What you got here? What you got going on? Let's see. You got some clips you want to show us, young lady?
The cost, and like I just think as
hold on.
Okay, y'all, I'm back. Bear with me, okay? Don't be dragging me, all right? I'm new to this, all right? But give me some time. I'm gonna be true to this, all right?
women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time.
But you don't. All right, it's chaotic, whatever. So let's just listen to how she feels about marriage, because somebody with this type of stance on marriage, I would never.
This is Pearl when she was talking to Piers Morgan, when she was on a white man's channel that she respects, not Team Portugal.
I think the word divorce would ever come out of her mouth. I would think.
But you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Women divorce men 70.
But you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is really marriage. What is marriage? It's for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
You're right, babe. Is that not what Michelle Obama did? Sickness and health, that does.
No, that's exactly what she did. Good point, Jas. And good video to back it up with. You get an A for effort, my lady. I'm enjoying this. At the end of the day, that's exactly what Michelle Obama did. But when you're a grifter and you have implicit biases and you're a fucking racist, it doesn't matter. Logic and reasoning goes out the door. But let's continue.
That doesn't necessarily mean physically sick. She's enduring the pain points of her marriage, doing what a wife should do. What's the problem? Just say you don't like women. That's what be pissing me off about y'all. Because y'all contradict yourselves all the time.
That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate and the average marriage
Why is that all down
years.
to the women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the women.
So why feminists
you asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish that first? So I'm saying, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
So you can see, and you can look up more videos on how she feels about it. What's the issue? What's the issue, Pearly girl?
The issue is that she's inconsistent. And she never was meant to be consistent. She always wanted to be inconsistent. That's the issue. She never wanted to be consistent. She wanted to grift. She wanted all the men to say, yeah, she's right. You bitches should never be able to divorce us. Doesn't matter if I cheat, make another baby, beat your ass, it don't matter. And it's not us saying it, it's a white woman. She agrees. That's all they wanted, bro. And then the moment she did that Nick Fuentes shit, she was through. They was done with her ass. And let me keep going. I got about 20 minutes left in this shit.
Why is it that when Michelle Obama speaks out and says, yo, it's rough, but I'm here, you still like, no, divorce the bitch? Because you hate women. It's weird. It's weird. And a lot of y'all hate women.
Well, it's not that she hate women now. I think that the grift doesn't pay like it used to. So now it's just fuck women, fuck black people, fuck everybody. That's how I feel about it.
And agree with this girl. She's so divisive. Y'all say you want us to come together, but y'all listening to a bitch that lives for dividing people. I'm clocking all you hoes today. It just has to happen. It's like, what are we saying, bro? So let's get back to the video. Give me 1 second. How y'all doing today? Drop a heart in the chat. Actually, no, drop a rose in the chat if you're having a good time, if you are feeling fine. I am so appreciative that you all have made it over. And we're going to get to the good stuff. We're going to get to it. But I needed to provide context in the conversation as a whole, so we can get up to what led to what's been going viral. We got to do that. So I'm not going to spend too much time. Give me a second. All right, here we go. All right, so now we're back and let's play the video.
Just leave your motherfucking ass to it. You the one.
What I would say is your happiness is your own problem. So if she's in a place where she's blaming him for her unhappiness, I would say that she should leave because she's probably torturing him.
Nah,
all right, so enough of that shit, right? We're gonna fast forward it a little bit. We're gonna jump to the conversation where we are discussing dishes. Because for some reason, y'all be obsessed with who gonna do the dishes, who ain't doing the dishes.
No, not me. I'm about to step forward now. I'm not having a conversation about no goddamn dishes. That's for damn sure not. I get to this part where you and her talk, but I'm not talking about no damn dishes.
So I don't understand the confusion there. How was that a subtle shot, Theo? How? I'm just like, if she's making this blanket statement that all women do this, are biologically wired to do this, and I don't have that experience as a woman, I'm asking her, has that ever been your experience? She said no. So where does that even come from? And why is it that nobody else called it out? Where is the actual factual data that states that women?
You're not having conversation with people who want to use actual factual data. You're having conversation with people who want to get clips and views. You got to go in spaces where conversations and data matters. If you want to have conversation with people who is going to bring up data.
And are biologically hardwired to be attracted to murderous men because Ted Bundy got a couple love letters. So because I challenged that, this is where it went.
That hasn't been my experience personally.
I mean,
I mean, I've interviewed 1,000 people. A good chunk of them did, you know, procreate and date men with felonies. That's not uncommon. So
okay,
especially in the black community, if we're going to be honest.
Okay. We just had a whole conversation about general women, whatever the case may be. Nobody made it about race. Right then and there, she made it about race. Why? Why? Nobody said, oh, especially in the white community, when we already know history shows that white women love a murderer. You do. Your grandmama and them had your mama at a Klan hanging before, taking pictures of her under a dead body. Y'all like that shit. This is about race now.
Hey, shit getting real. No, I mean, you're not wrong, though. The truth be told, like I said earlier, women are just attracted to men who are not weak. That's how I would phrase that.
It's one thing when you can be edgy, but Lucky, it's another when you constantly like criminals that can potentially harm you. That is the nuance that I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Edgy and has like a dominant attitude is different from saying that we're naturally attracted to these other things. And if that's not what she meant, why would she say that? Why would she bring up a murderer? Why would she bring up Ted Bundy? Everybody likes a little thug, a little guy with edge, a little street potential, but that doesn't always necessarily mean that they are a criminal. The biggest criminals are white women, along with their counterparts. But let's continue.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I was comments, so I don't know why you're pretending to not know what I'm talking about. You can gaslight these simps, but you can't gaslight me.
I don't know what you're talking about. And like, what was up with all that? What was up with all that? Like, you can gaslight these simps, but you can't gaslight me, Chica. First of all, why are you calling me Chica? I'm not gaslighting you. But why do you think that I know about criminal, like being attached to criminals because I'm black? You know this is a thing? I don't know. I don't know that. I know that every socioeconomic class, every race of people may date someone with a criminal past. Everybody does that. Has done it. So why, if we all are in agreement that some people date these kind of guys, why did you have to say especially in the black community?
You know why, bro? Because she racist. Yeah, I'm out of here, man. So I'm definitely gonna finish up Jas Stream, watch it on my own accord, but I got other content, other things that that need my attention. And I want to eat some dinner, get some other stuff done too. Go get my daughter a Happy Meal, etc., etc. That being said, I am out of here, man. I'm only doing live streams on this channel. I like it. It's not that many people over here just spamming my chat. I think Jas, in my opinion, listen, I think she's doing a good job. It's not up to me where she goes and etc., etc. And of course, I have to say, because these guys are doing better than me right now. So of course, I would like to see people at my channel where I believe we have genuine conversations. But one thing I know about women is y'all like clout, y'all like money, y'all like street niggas. The niggas that you go around and talk about beating women, the niggas like Fatty got bad reputations. I'm not even gonna bring that up because the last time y'all had that conversation, he tried to excommunicate you, right? So it's hard to really argue against Pearl Point where the person she's talking to is hanging out with individuals on a daily basis that shit on women. That's my thoughts, man. With that being said, I am out of here. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Peace.